Hey everyone, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative, and I have a card using the Sealed with Good Wishes bundle. I'm actually going to be creating a shadow box card, and it's a really easy tutorial, but first, let's look at this bundle. So the die set allows you to create a layered bouquet. The flowers are really easy to layer, and I'll be showing you that later. But there's also this piece on the left here that's kind of like that triangle with the circle at the end. That allows you to create faux twine to kind of tie your bouquet together. There's different greenery pieces and different florals in this die set. Don't forget to flip it around for a layering guide and an inspiration project. The stamp set has 9 different faux wax seals that you can stamp. And each row is one stamp, so you stamp 3 seals at once, and then you cut out all 3 seals at once using the coordinating die set. Let's go ahead and start making our card. So I have a piece of white cardstock that measures 5 3/4 by 5.5 inches. On the 5 3/4 inch side, so that's the side that I have lined up against the top of my scoreboard, I am scoring at 3/4 inches, 1.5 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and 5 inches. I'm not going to be folding on those score lines yet. I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to start embellishing this card. I'm going to keep it really simple because I want the bouquet to be the highlight. I grabbed a stencil from my LDRS Creative stash, and I have some iced tea hybrid ink. I thought that this kind of brown color would be a nice neutral that would let the flowers stand out. I'm fading that ink in so that it's heavier on the outside and kind of fading in towards the center, and I am using my score lines as a guideline. I did the left and right side, and now I'm going to be doing the center portion of my panel and just kind of ink blending in between the score lines that I've already placed onto my cardstock. You could, if you wanted to, just stencil all over this whole piece, but I like this idea of having darker and lighter areas. Now I'm going to fold just back and forth. So that first score line, I'm folding it back and then folding forwards on that second score line, lining them up on the top and bottom, and this is going to create a box. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, fold back first and then fold forwards. And if you fold them wrong, it's no worries, you can always just fold them back. So this is going to create an easy peasy shadow box, and we will use our bouquet to connect the left and the right side. So to start, I have cut that faux twine twice from some brown cardstock, and I'm going to adhere those 2 circle pieces together. You're just going to overlap them, line them up so that this makes a straight twine straight across, and then I'll just press that in place and set that to the side while I work on adding my stems. There are a few different kinds of stems in this die set. Some are just leafy greens and kind of filler pieces, but then there are 2 stems that you can layer some floral pieces on. So you can see I've cut a whole bunch of flowers and I'm just going to layer them on. I'm using tiny little dots of glue, and I am gluing on where the little circle kind of nubs are at the end of the stem. That's your indicator that that's where you're going to put a flower. Don't forget that you can always flip that packaging over to the back and you'll have a handy layering guide. This second stem is really easy. This has the kind of pointy flowers. One goes on top of that little circle that I have added glue to, and the other one goes on the back. Really easy to layer these up. I love how simple it is, and you can mix and match your colors so that you have lots of different variety in your stems. Now that I have my floral stems assembled, I'm going to start adding these onto my shadow box card. Now I have my card folded and bent up so that it has that recessed area and then those raised edges. And I want my bouquet to stretch from the left side all the way over to the right. And it does need to connect on both sides. That's how you're going to create that kind of the hinge to hold everything together. So I'm taking my LDRS Creative Glue, and I'm starting on the left side, making sure that I add that purple flower onto the left of my card, and then that pink flower I'm adding onto the right side. But you can see I'm not adding adhesive behind those pieces because I don't want them to adhere to the back. I want them to kind of float and create a bridge on this shadow card. I'm taking other stems and other little flowers, and I'm just going to add them in and build up my bouquet so that I can have it reach and be full all the way across, and again, build a sort of bridge. I'm adding pieces behind and in front of each other, and every step of the way I'm just making sure that I'm adding little dots of adhesive and making sure to connect those pieces so that in the end they're all going to be like one bouquet rather than 6 or 7 individual pieces. Once I have that done, I'm going to create the seal for my card. So I grabbed one of those stamps, and remember I said how it stamps 3 seals at once? I'm tapping on some teal ink, and I'm going to stamp those, and then the die is going to cut all 3 of those at once. So I'm lining that up and running that through my die cutting machine, and easy peasy I'm going to be able to stamp 3 seals and die cut 3 seals, so I'll have extras. And I do love how this die cuts slightly inside of that stamped image so that you have the color going all the way up to the edge. Now it's time to add that faux twine to my card. So I've stretched that all the way across my card, and I've added little bits of adhesive where it's going to meet that top of the bridge card. Now, normally on a card, you would just flip this to the back and fold it over and adhere that rectangle, that thicker rectangle panel will adhere to the back of your card. But since my card is folded, I don't have that kind of space. But that's okay, I'm just going to cut that off, and I'll just add tiny drops of adhesive onto those faux twine pieces. I'll do that again on the other side so you can see it one more time. I'm going to fold it over at the edge of my card. I'll cut off that edge that's intended to be used for your adhesive, and instead I'm just going to add little bits of adhesive onto that faux twine edge. Folding that over and securing that in place, and now I have that paper twine added to my card. On that circle piece is where I'm going to place my seal. So I added a little bit of foam tape so that I could have some dimension there. And I will place that right on top, covering up that little circle. And I'll squeeze that from both sides to just adhere that in place. I also used that stamp set and stamped a coordinating sentiment strip. And I will stretch that across my shadow box card to create another form of a bridge. And here you go. This is going to be able to stand up on somebody's desk or mantle, wherever they want to put it. It's just a fun little interactive card, and it does fold flat and fit into a standard A2 sized envelope. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project using the Sealed with Good Wishes bundle. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!